So, welcome back. Going to do some more work on the series bulkhead today, try and get it off the bench in the next day or two anyway. You'll remember, I think, last time we got this, we had a bit of a walk around a bit, where everything's cut out from the bottom, all the panels are ready to go in. So, today I'm going to start, I think the best way is going to be to start with fixing one of these panels in, probably the driver's side. I think we've got the gaps pretty good on them now. I'm kind of happy with, there's a couple of mounting bolts here for pedals and one thing or another, a good reference, so they're bolted in good and tight. I'll do a final few measurements, I think, just across to make sure I'm happy with where we are. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by putting this one in, get this secure. I know other than these bits here, but get this secured. And then I'm not sure then whether to go with, put the middle in and then work across. But I think it's more likely is to put this one in and then leave the middle out. Then any adjustment can be done, because there's a bit of flappage, shall we say, on these sides. So if, you know, what I don't want to do is fix it to this one and then find that we're 5mm, 10mm short here, and I have to sort of pull the flaps out on one side. So I want to try and centralise that plate, if you see what I mean. That's the plan anyway, peeps, that's the plan. Now, you might have also noticed on the last video, the last series video, even though it's a new, brand new GoPro that I'm using there, but it seems to be flickering with these lights, because I bought cheapo LED lights, didn't I? So what should I do? They're much better than what was here before, for working with anyway, but they're not very good for the cameras. So we're going to try and do this on the phone now in the workshop, which hopefully should give you some better footage, some better quality, and stop any of those of you suffering with epilepsy due to our videos. I can't be having that, can we? So I'll put in a bit of time lapse, and we'll have a few stops in between, I think, and evaluate where we're going and what mistakes we're making. So stick with us, and we'll crack on with that and get back to you shortly. Right, so that's that first one, as you can see down here. What I've done is plug welded down the door, down that door pillar. I'm not going to bother seam welding, because I'm going to go over everything with a seam sealer anyway. And these plates, these old plate is not very thick, you know. What I don't want to be doing is burning holes in it. So you see what I've done, I've plug welded down here, and then I'll also just spot welds all the way up. And I'll cover all that then with a seam sealer afterwards. So, see there, the plug welds from the inside. Turn that light off. So, in my mind, as long as I've got that on the other side, then I know I'm fully penetrated. Fully penetrated, eh? That's been a while. And so it's fully penetrated through the plates there. And I know it's pretty much held together. Done the same down here. Where's that camera slip? Done the same down there. Oh, I don't know what's going on with this camera stand. Oh, I'll take it out for now. Yeah, so I've done that down there as well. All down there. Few spot welds underneath there. Like, as you know, this piece here, I'm going to be taking out anyway, so I'm not going to weld that in. But that seems pretty solid now. I think I'm happy with that. So, like I say, it's all. See if I can get this back with a bit of a light here. Light's not great in here. So let's see, spot welded all the way down. That might be better like that, see? And then all that will cover with seam sealer. Same down there. plug welded. Where I've drilled out all the old spot welds, or the old plug welds, I've re-welded. And then I've spotted all the way down there as well. And we'll cover that all in seam sealer. This bit here, that gap, we'll take in when we do this piece probably. When I replace all that there, I think it's most likely I'll extend it into this corner. Give it a little bit more structure. I think there's a little bit one's doing behind there. So I think now the next job will be, I think, to do this side. So we'll repeat the process really for this side here. Clean it up a bit, plug weld it through. I'll spin the bench around for that. Do it on the other side. And then we can look at getting that middle panel in. Which, like I say, I think we want to be opening the flaps either side just to make sure everything sort of sits nice and snug before we start thinking about putting it on the chassis. So, stay with us. I'll get the next bit of that. We'll just turn the bench round so it's a bit better with the light out from outside if I turn the bench. Right, I'll crack on. See you in a bit.
I'm the man, I got the plan. When it hits the fan, do all I can, do all I can. Well, she lets her hair down. She drives me wild. And she looks in my eyes. Hell yeah!
Right, so that's that one pretty much in, I think. So you can see where all the plug welds have come from underneath. Decent penetration on that. I have put a couple of tack welds in here as well. The little brace back in there. Plug welds, tack welds all down here. Again, plug welds in here. Tack welds all down there. Around and about, all the plug welds done up underneath the footwell under there. Not the prettiest, I know, but then it doesn't really need to be. What I'm planning really with this car is, I did try to sell this as a basket case, as it is stands, say as it is out there. I don't know whether you can see that behind me. I did have it up for sale like that, because I couldn't be arsed with it. But clearly a lot of work. So the plan is to get it so it's solid, if you see what I'm saying. So it's a decent, solid car. But that could clearly do with maybe a once-over, you know? Maybe someone's looking for a project car, but what they want to do is titivate rather than all this mad work that I'm doing. So that's the plan really, is to get this to somewhere near where it will pass through. I know it won't need an MOT, but I'll put a full MOT on it. We're going to take it out, give it a go up the tracks and see what it's like driving an old series on some of the, on maybe some of North Wales's most iconic tracks. That's the plan anyway. And then most likely, peeps, later this year, I may well put it up for sale for a nice little project for somebody. Do you know? But you'll know, if you buy it, you'll know that the chassis is good, the bulkhead's good, generally everything's good. But just wants sort of cleaning, painting, titivating, putting your own mark on. So that's the plan. But you know how it is here. Four-wheel drive UK, the best laid plans. So stick with us anyway. But the plan now is to, clearly I need to put this section in now. So this is the one that sits in here. Something along these lines, something like that. Okay. But this is going to be a bit of a pig to hold in place. So I'm going to use these things predominantly. These are called Clecos. And basically what you do is let me find the spanner, the pliers. Bear with me a second. Right, so that's it in the plier. And what you do is you drill a hole, a 3mm hole, and see how that comes out? It comes out, and then as it comes back in, it widens out, so it'll hold the panel in. You may have seen it, I had it So there's a hole I drilled before. One of the little holes, where is it? That one there. So what we'll do is pop that in the hole. There we go. That's pretty solid, and that will hold those two panels in place. See what I mean? Cracking little bit of kit, you know. Cracking little kit. Also comes with some little clamps along the same lines. Those little things. Proper handy if you're doing stuff like this. Anyway, what I'll do now is I'm going to get this set up a little bit differently on the bench so as I can get it where I need to get to. Get it all set up, clamped up. And then we'll have a go at putting that one in, I think. Yeah, I think we'll have a go at getting that one. See if we can't get these panels somewhere near today. Get a bit of paint on it. Because then I've also got all these other little repairs to do, as you'll remember. Someone's done one there. It's just not a bad little repair, to be honest. I'd like it a bit less visible. But, you know, you can't have everything. So I've got a little repair to do here. A little one to do here. I might even... See, that's been a nice-ish repair there. Although it's visible, it's still a decent repair. I guess they left some awful rotting behind there when they did it. That's rotted its way through again. So, yeah, we'll put a little patch in here, we need to replace that piece there, don't we? The driver's footwell from the inside. But pretty much all the rest of it. If you look inside these flaps here, well, it's almost factory there, you know? Almost factory. Factory. Yeah, so I think I might have a brew for now. I'll have a brew. Brian's just gone over to the shop to get some bits for his van. Look, he's taught himself to TIG weld last night. I bought that TIG welder ages ago, and I keep meaning to get round to having a go at it, you know. But anyway, Ryan had a go last night. He's done some nice work. Don't know whether you can actually see it. And whether you can see that. So that's his first ever go at TIG welding on some stainless. Quite a clever lad, really. Don't tell him I said that, though, will you? Right, I'll catch up with you shortly. I'll get this repositioned so you can see what we're doing, and I can get a bit at it a bit better. And we'll crack on, I think. Catch up with you shortly. Okay, so in the end, I decided not to move the bench. I've put that, so I've got that middle piece in, but you can see they're really just plug welded and tacked in. Same down here, plugged and tacked all the way through. That fits quite well, to be honest. It's all pretty solid that side now. See, it's not a bad fit, really. All seems to go quite well. So on this one now, we just need to obviously get this one in place, as you can see, like where it's sitting. But it looks like it's going to fit pretty good. Yeah, I forgot to put you on time lapse. I think you agree. That's it's looking more like a bulkhead now than it has done for a while. So I'll get that side done, and I will put you on time lapse this time. I promise.
I don't care, it's a double dare. I ain't scared, you best beware, you best beware. It's alright, she's in my side. I got all night, so just sit tight, so just sit tight. When she lets her hair down, she drives me wild.
So that's that bit in now. Now then, I have got a slight issue here now. This is a genuine panel that came off with that one off the same bulkhead, right? So that one fits in nicely. All fits nice to those two panels. Put this one on. Now, because it came off this, because this one came off this panel, I can see exactly where it's at. Hang on, let me just show you. So when I sit down there, you can see exactly there, hopefully. See there, where I've drilled out the spot weld. Can you see that? So I know that's sat in exactly the right spot. Yeah, when you get to this side, and this side, it doesn't seem right. So, I think what I'm going to do is cut that in half and stretch it out. Because worst case, it's going to give me a little bit more room in here, isn't it? But these all fit right, and they fit right. I may have flapped them out a little bit, I don't know. But these are Brit part, that and that is Brit part. I don't suppose the tolerances are that tight that it really matters, to be honest. So I think I'm going to cut that in half. Slip that down the middle and make it sit nice and snug that side like that. And nice and snug that side like that. Because if you can see there, that's a little hole where there's a clip goes through there. See that hole there. So I know that's in the right place. And then it seems to be, this side seems to be out. So there's another clip there. I don't know, it's not a million miles out. I don't know whether to just put that on there and then knock these, and then dolly these down to fit. I'm not sure what to do now. I don't know whether to leave that in one piece, put it on, spot weld it where the spot welds have come off. So there, so I know it's in the right place. It's like that. And then see those? Whether when I get a bit of heat on there, it seems an awful lot to dolly back, that does. It seems this side here, the passenger side, maybe that footwell's a bit shorter. I think I'm going to cut it, Pete. I think I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it down the middle, and I get a nice fit either end, wasn't it? You won't really see the middle, but you'll see it if I dolly the hell out of it, that end. Oh, that's the plan. Cut it in half. That's the winner. So that's all that in now. I decided to cut it there in the end. It gives me a better finish that side and that side. I don't know, maybe it should stand off and they should be flapping a bit more, I don't know. But I'm happy enough with that, I think. We've plug welded everywhere. No, I know it doesn't look particularly pretty at the minute, but it's good and solid. It's not going anywhere. And by the time then that's all had some seam sealer on it and been painted up, you'll never know the difference. You'll never know. So, you see there, it's looking a bit more like a bulkhead again now. Let me have a look at this. Yeah, it's looking a bit more like a bulkhead now. There's a little bit there, which I'm not really that worried about. So it's really now, it's these little bits, that one, this one, just the little pieces. Right, there. So it does actually look like a bulkhead now, I think, doesn't it? We've got to make these bits in here. I'm not worried about those, like I said before. There's nothing major in there. These look worse than they are. I know it looks quite rusty, but it's quite strong, really. I need to make a little plate to go in the end of there. There's some bits here that I'm not really worried about, but it'll have a little plate in, I guess. I need to make a little plate for the end of there. But the bulk of the work's done there, pretty much. So I don't know how much more I'm going to do today. I might just leave it at that. I might make a start on these little panels. Right, stop pressing buttons on the bloody phone. What's going on with this camera?